Let's start laying down, because laying down is a nice way to start. And then when you're laying down, you can have feet flat on the mat, knees hip distance apart, and lean your knees against one another. Or you could do feet together and knees apart in a butterfly shape. And then you place one hand on the low belly and one hand on the chest. And then close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Do that again. Take a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. With each breath in, try and feel your belly and your chest both rise into your hands. Keep taking nice deep breaths like this. Try and fill your lungs up as much as possible with each breath in. Bring your hands onto the sides of your rib cage so that you can feel both sides of your body. And with each breath in, think about breathing so that your ribs expand outwards towards your hands. See whether you can make your rib cage expand to the sides as well as front and back. And as you bring your focus to your breath, try and let your body relax a little bit. Let it settle a little bit onto your mat. When you feel ready, you can reach your arms overhead, reach your legs out long for a nice big stretch. Really try and reach out as long as you possibly can. Squeeze every single muscle. And then with your exhale, relax everything. Let your arms and legs become heavy. Let's do that again. Inhale, squeeze every single muscle. Stretch out as long as you possibly can. And then exhale, relax. And then with your next inhale, slide your feet in, bring your knees into your chest, give them a nice big hug, pull them in. Then bring your hands onto your knees and take your knees in some nice big circles. And switch direction, circle your knees the other way. And try not to lose that deep, full quality of your breath as we start to move. And then bring your knees together, circle them both in the same direction so that we start to wake up the lower back and massage the sacrum a little bit. And then switch directions, circle your knees the other way. And then bring your hands either onto the front of your shins or underneath your knees. And you're going to gently rock yourself up to a seat. Bring your feet out to mat distance apart. Bring your hands onto the inside of your knees. Roll your shoulders down and back. Reach your chest up. Breathe in deep. And then exhale, round your back, curl everything in like you're trying to touch your nose to your belly button. Inhale, reach the chest up, extend, arch. Exhale, curl everything in. Inhale, reach up, extend, arch. Exhale, curl around everything in. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders down and back. Reach the chest up, gaze up. And then exhale, round the back, curl everything in. Then with your inhale, come back up to a seat. Cross your legs. We'll roll over the legs to come to hands and knees. Now on hands and knees, we want the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And then we'll take the shoulders in some nice big circles to start to warm up the wrists. Switch direction, circle the shoulders the other way. And then let's turn the wrists in and fingers out to the sides, and then we'll rock the shoulders gently side to side. And then be super gentle for this next one. We'll place the backs of the hands on the ground and we'll just gently rock back and forth to stretch out the backs of the wrists a little bit. And then bring your hands back to face front, shoulder distance apart. And with a deep breath in, roll the shoulders down and back, drop the belly, gaze up. And then with an exhale, round the back, curl everything in. Inhale, roll shoulders down and back, reach tail up, gaze up. Exhale, curl everything in. Follow your own breath. Let's do this a few more times. If it feels good, you could play with actively tractioning your hands along the mat like you're trying to pull them towards your hips as you drop your belly and reach your chest forwards. And then as you round your back, you could gently rock yourself forwards. So we exhale, arch, rock back, traction the hands. Inhale, Nope, that's wrong. Exhale and round and rock forwards. Inhale, arch, rock back. Exhale, round, rock forwards. And see whether you can initiate that movement from the very base of your spine so that it's rippling one vertebra at a time through this motion. And then if it feels good, you could take the rib cage in some nice big circles. And if you are circling the rib cage, make sure you switch directions. Circle the ribs the other way. And then find your way back to the center. Again, wrists under shoulders, knees underneath hips. Pull your tummy in and make your back a nice straight flat line. And then we'll extend one foot out behind us. You're gonna point your foot or flex your foot. You pick, but you have to pick one. You can't have a floppy foot. And without arching the back at all, we're just gonna bring the foot up a little bit so that we start to wake up the glutes. And then we're gonna gently rotate the leg in and out of turnout just from the hip joint. Just starting to gently wake it up a little bit. And then when you feel ready, keeping your back flat, keeping your belly pulled in, we're gonna push the heel up towards the ceiling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring that leg down and we'll switch sides. Extending the other leg behind us, making the foot the same as it was on the first side. We'll just lift it up a little bit and then we'll rotate it in and out of turnout from the hip joint. And then when you feel ready, pulsing that heel up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then come on back to hands and knees. We're gonna do some nice big circles with the leg here. For your leg circles, I'd like you to try really hard not to let your back do any of this stuff. We wanna keep the tummy pulled in and keep the spine stable. And we'll keep the leg bent, and we'll lift the leg straight out to the side, and then we'll just do some really nice big circles with it. And we'll do about 8 in each direction. Keep breathing, go at your own speed. And when you feel ready to switch direction, go ahead and switch. And then once you've circled that leg both directions, you can switch over to the other side, lifting it straight out to the side, and then doing some nice big circles with that knee. And again, switching direction when you feel ready, circling the leg the other way. And then when you've circled the leg both directions, bring your bum back onto your heels, take a child's pose. And take a moment to check back in with your breath. Try and breathe in so deeply that you begin to expand the back of your rib cage. Really try and use your breath to help you stretch through the entire backside of your body. If it feels good, you could walk both hands over to one side and then keep dropping both armpits towards the floor so that you stretch through one side of your body. And then walk your hands across the center to the other side. Same thing, keep dropping both armpits and your head so that you stretch through the other side. And then walk your hands back to the center. With an inhale, round yourself up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and reach your hips up and back to downward dog. In your downward dog, you could walk out, stretch your feet. Take a second to wiggle around there because it's the first downward dog of the day. You could bend one leg and stretch the other. You could go back and forth. Take a second to wiggle around however you feel like you need to. Another stretch that feels nice in a downward dog is to go from a nice flat back position and think about dropping your armpits and your forehead towards the floor to kind of wake the shoulders up a little bit. So in our downward dog, we always aim to keep the ribs pulled in and the spine straight. But by dropping into it a little bit through the torso, you can really start to wake up the shoulders. And then when you're ready, with an inhale, come up on your tippy toes and slowly walk your feet all the way up to the front of your mat. And take a second to dangle. Hold on to opposite elbows. Soften your knees a little bit. Let your head be heavy. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. And then with an inhale, very slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Close your eyes, take a second, rock back and forwards on your feet. And then when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, slowly rolling down the spine. Inhale, lift up halfway, find a nice flat back. Really extend through the crown of the head. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, soft knees, very slowly roll yourself up to standing. Exhale, pause. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch long. Exhale, slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, lift up, extend halfway, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, soft knees, slowly roll it all the way up to standing. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up, stand tall. Exhale, slowly roll it down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, extend the spine, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands on the floor and then slowly, slowly tiptoe your feet straight back to a high plank. Wrists under shoulders, tummy pulled in. Take a nice deep breath in, and then with your exhale, we're gonna very slowly lower onto our tummies, so you can put your knees down if you need to. We wanna keep the back in a nice straight line and the elbows next to the rib cage, and we want the chest and the hips to touch the ground at the same time. Then with the next inhale with no hands, lengthen the spine, lift the chest. Exhale to stay. And then with your inhale, use your hands to help you roll up just a tiny bit higher. Don't go too far, our backs aren't super warm yet. Roll those shoulders down and away, make sure that your neck is long. And then exhale, traction your hands towards your hips to lengthen as you roll back down. Plant the hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes, inhale, press straight back up to your high plank. Again, you can do it on your knees, it's the first one. And then lift those knees, reach the hips up and back to downward dog. Pause for a moment in downward dog here. Really push the ground away from you through your shoulders. Keep pulling the rib cage in and let the heels feel heavy. Think about reaching the sits bones up towards the sky. Take a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Inhale, rise up on the tiptoes. Slowly walk yourself forwards. Lift up halfway. Inhale, extend the spine. What? Exhale, fold. Do you need help? Oh, that's okay. Inhale, soft knees, roll it up to standing. We made it. Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up, extend long. Exhale, slowly roll it down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, tiptoe all the way back to your high plank. And again, you can put your knees down if you need to. Take a deep breath in. And with an exhale, keep your elbows next to your rib cage. Slowly lower onto your tummy. Inhale, no hands, low back lift. Exhale, stay. Inhale, bring your hands down, roll up a little bit higher. Keep pulling the tummy in, keep rolling the shoulders down and back. And then with the exhale, pull the hands towards you to traction your spine as you roll back down. Plant the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. And with your next inhale, press straight back up to high plank. And then hips go up and back, downward dog. And pause for a moment. Keep pushing through the shoulders. Keep the spine long and the rib cage in. Take a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. And then inhale, rise up on the tiptoes. Walk the feet all the way up to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway. And then exhale, fold. Soft knees, inhale very slowly. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. And then let's inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back. Do that a couple times. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, roll them down. One more time, inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, roll them down. Close your eyes and pause for a moment. Check in with your breath. See if it's still flowing freely or if something happened to it while we were working hard. Now with your next inhale, reach the arms up. Lengthen the spine. Bend the knees, sink the hips back. Come to chair pose. So we want to make sure that our knees haven't gone past our big toes. We want to, if our feet are close together, lean the sides of our knees against one another, or your feet can be hip distance apart, but if your feet are hip distance apart, your knees have to stay hip distance apart. So if I turn sideways, my chair pose can either be here, or it can be here, but it cannot be here. Don't do this. This is not good, okay? So pick one, whichever one you want. Inhale, hips back, arms up. Keep pulling the rib cage in. Take a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Again, nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Keep pulling those arms back. Keep reaching them up by the ears. Take one more nice deep breath in. One more nice deep breath out. Maybe sink the hips a little bit deeper. Take another inhale. And then with the exhale, hips up, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, tiptoe back to high plank. Take a deep breath in high plank. And then exhale, knees on the ground if you need to, elbows in, slowly lower onto your tummy. Inhale, no hands, lengthen the spine, lift up. Use your hands to help you roll up a little bit higher. Shoulders are down, chest is nice and wide. Exhale, traction the hands, use them to pull your spine long as you roll back down. Inhale, tuck toes, push back up to high plank, hips up, downward dog. Pause for a moment in your downward dog. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice long sigh out. One more time, nice deep breath in. Nice long sigh out. Then with your next inhale, take your right foot, float it up towards the ceiling, but keep all 5 toes pointing down at the ground. So we don't want to let the hip open up like this. We want to keep everything nice and square. Take a deep breath in, see if you can lift that heel a little bit higher. And then with your exhale, bend your knee, step your foot forwards to a lunge. We're gonna bring our hands inside the front leg of our lunge, and then think about really extending through the back foot. And if this feels challenging, you could put your hands up on blocks so that it's a little bit less intense. Now with your inhale, really stretch out through that back heel, really try and lengthen that back leg, straighten that back leg, and see if you can bring your chest up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, roll the shoulders down and back, see if you can sink the hips and reach the chest up. Take another deep breath in. Try and scoot your front foot forwards enough that it's right underneath the knee. Don't let the foot be behind the knee. Exhale, sink hips, chest up. And then you can go ahead and drop that back knee onto the ground. So I have my right leg forwards, so I'm gonna go ahead and lean on my left hand a little bit. So I went from being really square here, and I shifted my hips sideways and leaned a little bit. Then I'm gonna bring my right hand onto my right knee. Take a nice deep breath in. And then with your exhale, you're gonna turn and peek over your right shoulder. And then inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, little twist, peek over your right shoulder. And then come back to center. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale, little twist, peek over your right shoulder, and this time maybe pause here. Think about letting your left hip be really heavy, and hopefully you feel a stretch through the outer right hip here. You can bring your left hand onto a block if you need to. Take another deep breath in, and another deep breath out. One more time, nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. And then inhale, come back to your lunge facing forwards. Let's bring both hands inside that front foot again. And if this is enough of a stretch for you, if this is pretty intense, stay here. Check in, make sure that this front ankle is right underneath your front knee. Don't let your knee go in front. And then if you would like a little bit more stretch, you can come down onto your elbows or place your elbows on blocks. Wherever you are, focus on breathing. Take a really nice deep breath in and a really nice deep breath out. Breathe in very deeply. Think about lengthening your spine every time you breathe in. And every time you exhale, think about relaxing and releasing and sinking a little bit. Take 2 more nice deep breaths. And then with your inhale, help yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then step your front foot back to high plank. Extend out long through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in. And then with your exhale, elbows in, slowly lower onto your tummy. Again, using your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, little back lift, extend your spine, no hands. Exhale, use your hands to help you roll up a little bit higher. Take a nice deep breath in, roll the shoulders down and back, keep the chest wide open. And then exhale, traction the hands towards your hips. Slowly roll down. Plant your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes. Inhale, push up to high plank, hips up and back, downward dog. In your downward dog, extend through your shoulders, push through your hands, reach your sits bones up towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. Inhale, rise up on your tippy toes, tiptoe yourself all the way forwards to the front of your mat. Take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine, extend through the crown of the head. And then exhale, relax in forward fold for a moment. Maybe shake your head no, nod your head yes. And then when you're ready, with an inhale, we're gonna bend the knees, sink the hips down and back, and come straight up to our chair pose. Keeping the arms next to the ears, rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then with your inhale, look up towards your thumbs. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then with your inhale, come up to standing. Take a second, shake it out. Shake your legs out, shake your wrists out. Maybe grab a sip of water if you'd like a sip of water. Take a little breather for a moment. And then come on back to the top of your mat. hip distance apart last time, I encourage you to bring your ankles and your big toe mounds next to each other this time. If you did it with your legs together the first time, I encourage you to do it with your legs hip distance apart the second time. Take a nice deep breath in. Mentally prepare yourself. Nice deep breath out. And then with your inhale, sink your hips back, reach your arms up. Nice deep chair pose. Really pull those arms back so they're next to your ears, and then take a look up, gaze up towards your thumbs. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, maybe sink your hips a little bit deeper. Take one more nice deep breath in. Exhale, hips up, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift up halfway. Exhale, tiptoe all the way back to high plank. Wrists under your shoulders, tummy pulled in, try and make your back a nice straight line. So we want the body to be a straight line this time. Nice. Belly pulled in, butt tucked under, neck long. Take a deep breath in. And then with your exhale, elbows next to your rib cage, slowly lower onto your tummy. Again, do this on your knees if you need to. Inhale, no hands, lengthen the spine, lift up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, stay. Inhale, use the hands a little bit to help you roll up a little bit higher. Keep those shoulders rolled down and back. Chest nice and open. Exhale, pull the hands towards your hips as you traction yourself on the way down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, push back up to high plank. Hips up and back to downward dog. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then with your next inhale, lift that left foot up. Keep all 5 toes on that left foot pointing down at the ground. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, left foot steps forwards outside the left hand. Coming into our low lunge. And again, make sure that that front ankle is right underneath the front knee. You can put your hands on blocks if you need to. Really extend through that back heel. Try and squeeze the bum on the back leg. And then take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders down and back, reach the chest up, sink the hips down. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, chest up. One more time, deep breath in. This time, exhale, drop the back knee. So I have my left leg forwards this time, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring my right hand out wide and lean on it. Then I'm gonna bring my left hand onto my left knee. Take a deep breath in, and then with your exhale, turn and peek over the left shoulder. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn and peek over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, turn and peek over the left shoulder. And then maybe stay. If you are staying here, think about really lengthening through that back leg and dropping the right outer hip toward the floor. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen the spine, roll the shoulder down and away from the ear, and then let that hip sink a little bit more. One more time, nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out, and then inhale, come all the way back to the center. So if this is enough for you, stay here. This is great. If you need a little bit more, or you want a little bit more, you're gonna go ahead and bring your elbows down, and you can place them on blocks or books or the floor. And then wherever you are, check back in with your breath. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Inhale, focus on lengthening the spine. Exhale, think about letting the hips and torso sink. With your next inhale, make your way back up onto your hands. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, step your foot back to high plank. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, using your knees if you need to, slowly lower onto your tummy, making sure that your hips and your chest touch the ground at the same time. Inhale, no hands, low back extension. Really squeeze those shoulder blades together. Use those back muscles. And then with your next inhale, use your hands to help you roll up a little bit higher. Rolling those shoulders down and back. Trying to keep the neck nice and long. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, traction your hands towards your hips to lengthen your spine as you roll down. Now make a little pillow with your hands, one on top of the other. Rest your forehead on your hands and gently wiggle your hips from side to side. If it feels good, you could bend your knees and let your feet windshield wipe from side to side. And then lay your legs back down on the mat. Take your left hand, reach it out in front of you and use it to lift your chest up a little bit. And then take your right hand, dive it underneath your left arm. Bring your left knee up towards your right hand, and then take your left arm and open it into a twist. And try and turn your head, gaze towards that left hand. It's okay if it's floating in the air. If it is floating in the air and that's uncomfortable, you could take your blocks and make a little stack to put your hand on so that it's not kind of dangling there. And then I like to bring my right hand just onto my left leg above the knee so that that leg has a little bit of weight. The other thing you could do if your knee is uncomfortable is take a block and place it underneath your knee so that that's not floating around in the air, and that might help you feel more comfortable too. And then take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhale, see if you can relax. Breathe nice and deep into the left side of your torso. And enjoy the twist. When you're ready, slowly roll yourself back over onto your tummy and make that pillow with your hands again. Place your forehead on your hands and give your hips a wiggle. And then pause for a moment, laying on your tummy. And then when you're ready, take your right hand, use it to lift your torso just a little bit. Take your left arm, dive it underneath. Then bring your right knee up towards your left hand. Then we'll take the right arm and we'll open it so that we come into a twist on the other side. And then again, I like to bring my hand onto my thigh just above the knee on that bent leg to give that leg a little bit of weight. You could use your blocks to build yourself a little fort if that feels good for you. And then see whether you can gaze towards the outstretched right arm. And take a nice deep breath in, really breathing deep into the right side of your rib cage. And a nice long deep breath out. With your next inhale, you can slowly start to move. We're going to make our way all the way onto our backs this time. And then once you're laying on your back, you gently windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Or if it feels good, you could give your knees a nice big hug, pull them into your chest. Take a deep breath in, and then with an exhale, lift your head and shoulders. See if you can curl your whole body into the tightest little ball possible. Try and glue your forehead to your knees. Take another deep breath in, and then with an exhale, uncurl your upper back. And then if it feels good, you could bring your hands onto the outside edges of your feet. Stack your feet on top of your knees and aim your knees towards your armpits. And take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhale, push your feet into your hands as you use your hands to pull your knees towards your armpit. Take another deep breath in. And another deep breath out. One more time, nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. And then go ahead and release your feet. Slide them along the mat until you're all stretched out. Find a comfortable spot for your hands to rest. And then close your eyes. Push the back of your head into the mat to lift your shoulders. Roll your shoulders down and back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then let your shoulders settle again against the floor. And return to your breath. Just let it flow in and out of your body. And with each exhale, think about releasing and relaxing, melting into your mat.